welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro, and today we're looking at verse 5 in Psalm 127. So if you have your Bible and you want to turn there with me, we'll go right there in just a moment. But let me remind you about Daily Dose Radio's webpage, The Bible Bistro. You can go to my-dailydose.com, and there you'll find all kinds of good stuff. The blog roll is full every week, something new. The books that are there, you can find all kinds of good stuff. And, of course, links to all of the media. So check it out, my-dailydose.com. Today we're in verse 5, and verse 5, you'll notice, begins very familiar. It sounds very familiar. Let me read verse 5. Now I'm reading from the King James translation here. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. I was just looking at that passage, and I thought you would find it very familiar because the way it begins. Happy is the man. The language here is very much like Psalm 1. You'll recall Psalm 1, and in Psalm 1 we have this very same language, happy or blessed. In Psalm 1 we translate that blessed. We could translate it blessed here as well. Blessed is the man which has filled his quiver with them. That's my translation of 5. He shall not be ashamed. That's the first half of 5. Now, the word for man here is different than in Psalm 1. In Psalm 1, we have the just generic word for man, ish. Here we have a different word for man, which this word is the same word that was translated as mighty. Now, it's spelled slightly differently, but over there in verse 4, as arrows in the hand of the mighty. So, arrows in the hand of the mighty, or as the King James translates it, hands of the mighty man. But I think we could just easily translate that because man really doesn't occur. This is more adjectival, in the hands of the mighty. So, sons or children are of one's youth. So we have the mighty, and then we come over in 5, and blessed is the man, but this man is not just any man, is not generic man. This is a strong and valiant man. That's kind of the background of that Hebrew word, to be strong and valiant. So it's not just any man, but it's the man who is looking out for his house, defending those who are defenseless, his children, his wife, and so forth, the family members. He's watching over them. So blessed is the man, the valiant man, which has filled his quiver with them. With whom? Well, we know who. The children, who are like the arrows, because we're talking about a quiver. So arrows go in a quiver. So blessed is the valiant man who has filled his quiver with them, that is, the children of his youth. He will not be ashamed. There's a hard pause right there because that's the center of the verse. And then we pick it up next. For they will speak. Who's speaking here? The children, because they're the children of a valiant man. So they are speaking with the enemies in the gate. So in the gate, that's the place where judgment happened. That's the place where decisions were made. That was sort of the local courtroom, of the city. So the gate was where the elders sat, and that's where decisions were made. If you want a good illustration of that, go back and look at the book of Ruth, when Boaz goes before the city elders who are seated at the gate to make the transaction for Ruth and for the land. The children are speaking. They're doing their job, like the arrows in the hand of the mighty. So now the children are speaking. Who are they speaking with? On behalf of their father in the gate. And so we, if we want to continue our spiritual analogy, we too are speaking on behalf of our Father in the gate with who? The enemy. And so we are contending with him because there are more children yet to be born. All right, that's enough for 127 for this week. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. We'll look at Psalm 128 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.